watch me, old man, look over my glasses.
Well, it's on the regular like startup screen first.
Oh.
It's not on you. Nobody's in the chat, so we're good there.
It's just okay.
Don't have to worry about that. And I don't see it as live on Twitch yet, so let's see. There it is.
Okay, there you go.
We have 2 viewers, you and me.
Nice.
Nobody wants to tune in and find out about the haiku contest.
God damn it, Danny.
There he is.
There he is.
Sorry, I had to wrangle a child.
It's fine. I started this stream on Twitch just so people would know.
Okay.
Only one?
I forgot my... Well, yeah, the other two are actually really good sleepers now.
Oh, okay. Well, alcohol will do that.
It's called Benadryl.
Doesn't NyQuil make one for kids? Not ZQuil, but... Or maybe it is ZQuil.
I don't think you're supposed to do that, though.
No. They have children's melatonin, but you're not supposed to do anything like that until they're like 9 or 10. You'll have to let me know if my mic pickup is stupid loud again. Because I feel like it goes back and forth.
I don't know. Sometimes, like when Danny's on, he sounds low to me.
Mm-hmm.
And when I listen to the recording back, he sounds fine. So.
Yeah.
I bet Squadcast does something to like put everybody on the same level. I bet there's like a voice volume leveler thingy or something.
Maybe.
All right, are you ready to begin?
Hold on 1 second. I have to make the letters big enough so I can actually see without having.
I have to sit down like in a hole, Tom, because my chair broke.
Oh no. All reliable.
It's actually my second one in like 2.5 years. I got one.
Wow.
Like in the middle of like maybe 3 months into teaching at home.
Mm-hmm.
I got one. Or maybe like 3 weeks into teaching at home. I don't know. I had to replace it for some reason. I think it was just not comfortable anymore. And I was like, I can't do this. If I had to sit here and teach online, I need a chair that's comfortable.
I agree.
But it broke.
John,
I blame my son.
If I put a green screen behind me, can you put something there? Or would I have to do it?
I think you could.
I think John would have to do it because you have the...
I'd have to do it, and I don't know how to do that.
I don't think... Not to put you on the spot, but I don't think it's that hard. I think you just have to YouTube it or Google it or something.
Yeah,
I just think it's not as...
I don't mean to do it right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not saying now.
I can.
I ain't. I have this thinking.
I can do that through OBS. Yes, I can. I don't know how.
Meanwhile, I have this sinking feeling I'm going to end up buying this third photon box from John.
Why, you weren't going to buy it and you just leave John with a photon box?
No, I was originally going to just mark which ones were his, and then I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, why shouldn't... But then I'm like, I'm pulling a Bilbo. Why shouldn't I keep it?
I don't actually care. I just wanted the codex. You can keep it.
I will figure out some form of compensation.
I mean, yeah, whatever. Sure. Buy me beer.
I mean,
whatever.
I'd have to buy you a lot of beer.
Not really, remember?
That's true.
Right. So.
Because you're a one and done kind of guy.
Right.
Just kidding.
I mean, I kind of am when we go out on Tuesdays. I drink the one usually, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. My wife won't notice the extra $5 a week on Coors.
This is random.
That just means that Mario's losing his tip.
Are you ready to start?
Yeah.
I'll wait for Tom to sit down.
Okay.
Or we could just start the show with him standing at his fridge getting more alcohol. That's fine.
Yeah.
That works with me.
Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, you're on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. It is your host, Adam. As always, almost always.
I'm so glad we did this.
This is not considered optimal for me in the slightest.
So
As
glad
you
we
can
just
hear,
start the show like that.
We have Tom.
Hello.
We have a
How
Tom
are
sighting.
you?
A wild Tom has appeared.
Yeah.
And always on the wheels of steel, we have John.
Sitting in a hole.
Sitting, if you're watching, he is a bit shorter than normal in honor of Votan.
No, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it works out. No, it's actually because my chair broke.
Yeah, and most likely because his chair broke.
Yeah.
Danny's not with us, even though he's the one that advertised the box that we're giving away to get everybody all excited or upset.
Are we doing the box giveaway? I thought we were doing the haiku.
We'll go into that.
Okay.
So,
yeah, it's a thing.
So first off, we'll start with a bit of sad news.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Nice.
We did have the Las Vegas team tournament this weekend. In the course of preparing for the Vegas tournament, we did have a local player get into a car accident, and unfortunately, he passed away. His name was Hayden. For those of us in the San Diego, Orange County, LA area, are familiar with Hayden because he's been playing for quite a while, actually.
Long time.
Or if you went to LVO, he was at a lot of LVOs.
He was at a lot of LVOs. He was at SoCal Open,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think Broadside Bash. He was at a lot of local tournaments.
I don't remember ever seeing him at BAO, but it wouldn't surprise me if he went to Bay Area Open at least once or twice.
No, I think he stuck mainly to SoCal, that area, maybe, and Vegas. But I would see him because I used to go to all the RTTs, and he would be there also. And he was only in his mid to late 20s.
Young
when
guy.
He passed. He just passed this past Monday. And it's kind of weird. It's almost like watching someone grow up, because he was really young when I first met him. I mean, well, young. Everyone's young to me at this point, so he was younger.
Old man Solus.
But he was very active in the local scene in regards to playing at tournaments. It was really fun to play. I know Tom has played him a couple times.
Yep. Nicest guy.
He really loved his Monster Mash. Even before that was a thing with Bellacore, he was always playing big monsters. And he'd been on a few teams. Towards the end, he was on XPZ's team. He was supposed to go with them to the team tournament, and unfortunately, he had his accident. And so that's how I found out. The XPZ guys let me know that what had happened. And they let me know when he had passed on Monday. So my heart goes out to them, to him and his family, especially. But Danny, I think Danny has something planned for SoCal, because he would go to SoCal also every year.
Yeah.
So Danny has something planned for SoCal, and I'm sure he'll talk about it more as we get closer. So.
Yeah.
So
it's really sad.
Yeah. So moving on. As I mentioned, we did have the Las Vegas team tournament. It was held at Palace Station, and we had 45 teams. And
Palace Station. I heard some people stay to the Rio because they didn't realize it was at Palace Station.
That was one of our teammates.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
He went to the Rio instead of the actual place.
When you said that at first, I thought you meant Ben Schmoller, and I was like,
Me too.
why is he at the LVTT? He plays Age of Sigmar.
No. I mean, he could have been. There was Age of Sigmar at the
Right, I didn't realize that. I didn't,
at the event. There was 45 teams, and then we had a 6 Age of Sigmar teams, so 51 total. Down from last year. Last year was only 40K. And we had 58 teams, and we can discuss a couple reasons why that may have happened.
So my question is, did you take a poll of the teams there to see how many of the people who were actually there voted for the differential versus the win-loss?
I did not, and we will talk about that.
You should poll the people who actually went. You should get the teams, send them a poll. You know what? I'll do it.
You can do it.
Where's Google Forms?
Google Forms has your answer for everything.
Yeah. Give me that SurveyMonkey link.
Alexa, open Google Forms.
I-
Nope, she can't do it. Did you hear?
Yeah. Yeah. I can't do that, John.
My Alexa is just as helpful.
No, stop it.
So,
Back in my cage I go then, to dream of the uprising.
to record everything you say.
Yeah. Jeff loves me. Jeff Bezos loves me very much, his child.
So I went to the event with Jeff and Tom Guan, who is one of the top AOS players, because he was playing in the AOS champs or team tournament. Fairly uneventful, fairly quick. We got there fairly quickly. I mean, we did move cars when we stopped at the rest stop so Tom can go to the restroom. We watched him go, and then we parked somewhere else and just laughed while he tried to figure out where we were at.
Why gotta be mean to the Age of Sigmar player?
Thought you were about to say.
Why gotta be mean to the token Age of Sigmar player in the car? That's just rude.
Yep, that was the only thing he was a token for.
God, man. What the heck? Why you gotta be so mean to the Sigmar guys? This is why nobody likes you.
Who, Tom or me or both?
You.
Oh,
Stop!
fine.
Just stop Sigmar hate.
Yeah.
I have a specific song for that. You'll enjoy it, John, but I can't play it here.
All Games Workshop lives matter.
Nice.
Are we allowed to make that joke yet? We're not allowed to make that joke yet, huh? We're gonna have to bleep that one
you
out.
probably can't.
Damn.
What about all Voton rules matter?
You definitely
No, that
can't.
definitely is not true.
Well, looking at simple facts.
So, like I said, our team hashtag Erect went with, and it was Jeff, who played last year, Derek,
Who's in the chat?
who's in the chat,
Waiting
Ali.
for us to name drop him.
No, he's waiting to complain. I already know.
Oh, okay, good.
I had to hear it during the tournament, and so did Keith. Ali, Ben, who is the one that
Stayed
went
at the
to
Rio.
Man Kenobi?
and then
Indeed.
old Ben Cromwell. I haven't heard that.
I wonder if he means old Ben Cromwell.
I haven't heard that name in a long time. And last but not least was Carlos. Carlos came out to play, and he was playing. He played Thousand Suns. Jeff played Creations of Bile. Ali played Death Guard, and she actually played the Terminus Est list, which is all the Poxwalkers, all the infantry list. And Ben played Necrons, and Derek played, I think it was Imperial Knights or Chaos Knights. I don't remember. I think it was Imperial Knights. He played Knights, so I don't remember.
It's just good you don't remember, because that's fitting. Because Derek is in the chat.
Well, he can play.
Played Chaos Knights.
Okay. Well, Derek can swing either way with the Knights. So. You heard it here first. Derek's a swinger.
Ironically, swings either way and swinger are not the same usage there. You're using it improperly.
Although, usually when that occurs, Both usually occur at the same time, I would imagine.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I'm not speaking from experience, but I
I
don't
said
think that's necessarily true.
Google Forms, get it out.
No.
Just ask Alexa, John.
No, we're not doing either of those things because we've been vague enough with how we've been saying things, and I'm not going to expressly say it out loud.
Okay, John, I've changed your ad recommendations.
That's great for the shared Amazon account I have with my wife. I'm sure that would go over really well.
She's gonna be like, "What the? Why am I getting advertisements for flamingos?"
So
Moving on.
the event was fun. The first round we did have the learning curve of what a differential is, because
I know the answer to that. Stupid.
As John
The
mentioned,
differential is stupid.
we this year we used a differential scoring method, and what that is you score between 0 to 20 based on how the points difference in your game. So if you scored 51 points or more than your opponent, like let's say 90 to 30, then you score 20, your opponent scores 0, and then it's in increments of 5 from there. So 45 to 50 was 18 points for you, 40 to 45, 46 to 50, 41 to 45.
Everybody's already lost.
I
guarantee it.
The
not
funny thing is,
even worth
I'm not
explaining.
I'm not, but I'm angry now.
It was literally a thing that nobody wanted last year, but when they opened it up to public voting for what people wanted, it won. It's like it would be like opening the U.S. presidential election to the world. You shouldn't get a say. You're not
Now,
here.
don't threaten me with a good time.
Derek says he's lost and he played in it. I'm actually not attacking freedom, Airborne. I am sustaining freedom. I am protecting the freedom. And my shirt proves it.
I think what John's trying to say is freedom ain't free.
It's just not for it's just not for everybody, apparently. If you don't go to the event, you shouldn't get a say in how it's run.
Yeah, so as John mentioned, it was put to public vote, which was not my first choice if I were to do it. Last year, it was put to only teams that were attending to vote.
Shocking that it went opposite directions.
Yeah, well,
And shocking that you heard complaints.
now some people got a taste of both, so now they can make an informed opinion as to which they preferred. I didn't care either way, although each one had its own each one had its own unique set of problems. With the win-loss, which is what they used last year, so basically first 1 to 3 wins wins the match. We had issues where one team was labeled as a loss because they didn't score as many. They scored fewer battle points, even though they won more games. Other times, when there was a draw, the system would give it to they declared it a draw, but it was supposed to go to the team that did the most battle points between the two. Things like that. On this end, it was more with the differential. It was more of the learning curve of I'm supposed to do it like this, and then just people still doing it as the weekend progressed. But it got fewer and fewer to the point when we got to round 6, there was only I think one person that put it in as battle points instead of differential.
I think honestly, it's a case of similar kind of how all ninth is at this point, where the game ends and you go, okay, what did I score?
Yeah.
Oh, that was my score? Cool. Because it was just too difficult to do throughout the whole entire game. Or one person has a good idea of what the score is and the other person's like, what? What do you mean? I thought I was winning. No, I was winning. It just makes it difficult.
All I know is that there are so many times I hear about stuff like this, and by that I mean probably 2 other times, and I'm just saying that. But it's called just take an Excel spreadsheet and run every possible scenario until you're like, cool, I've mapped this out. There's no way this is going to totally freaking. It sounds more like just it's like they took a rule set they heard about, applied it, something that kind of works kind of, and then did the math on it. I'm gonna stop. I'm not ready to go full rage yet on anything, but that's basically.
You're saving it for Votan rules?
No, actually, I'm fine with those. It's just more like it just pisses me off when people are like, "Here's a good rule system," and like stick it on something without testing it. Like just slapping something on without testing something, and like really trying to vet it, just pisses me off. It pisses
Are
me
we
right the
talking
fuck
about
off.
Votan, or are we talking about the differential?
The differential.
I thought we were talking about the Nephilim GT book.
That applies to everything, but for the
Airborne. We're talking about 40K in general right now, right?
in regards to the differential, and I think Keith, who judged with me that over the weekend also, what Keith said to me makes sense. Is the differential probably works best with the WTC version because it has the 8 teams as opposed to 5, which is what we used for the team tournament. And the reason for that is you're going to get those 20-0 spikes. Basically, just based on the armies, the meta armies that are out there, like Votan, how Votan used to be before today. So the middle area is where it kind of evens everything out because you're not playing meta armies. You're just playing whatever armies are left really after all the other armies are picked in the schoolyard. So with eight players on each side, it helps mitigate that basically bell curve with the spikes on the ends between winning and losing, 20-0 and 0-20s. But with 5, because there's only 5, and you should only be taking the meta.
And I think that was Tom's point about it not being tested. Like, yeah, the differentials system's been used a bunch, but it's always with like large numbers of 8 players a team, and with 5, it has not really been used.
Yeah. So basically, Keith explained it better than Tom, is what you're telling me, because Tom already got frustrated.
That's fine.
I accept that. That's fine.
Is that what you were trying to say, Tom? Essentially.
I got distracted by something, but I'm gonna go ahead and say yes.
Good answer.
Hey, I'm honest. I got integrity.
Yeah.
So, there were a few. We had a few instances at the tournament. We had a few people miss their flights.
Nice.
Because they decided to book like red eyes and stuff. And if anyone's been traveling these last few months, they should know that most of those get canceled at the last minute. So there were a few teams scrambling for a 5th person. There was one team that lost a person, it got replaced, and then they lost another person.
Yikes.
So
big oof.
So there was a lot of new tournament players there, same as last year. I guess they feel more comfortable with going with their buddies for an event as opposed to going to a singles event and playing.
Right.
I guess
it's always tough going to singles events.
I guess, but if you're going with your friends, I mean, wouldn't that be the same as going to the team event?
I was actually making a joke on like singles, like.
Oh my god! All right, moving on.
It didn't land, but I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So we had a few of that. We had a few issues regarding teams' disagreement on the scoring, and large men talking loud and making large motions with their hands that seem to make a few people nervous when they're yelling at each other. We had that. We had 2 players that could not get along in the last round, to the point where I think Keith had to tell him to like take 5 minutes to like cool off after we had been to their table like numerous times.
You get a red card, and you get a red card. Your whole team gets a red card.
Well, they ended up just like taking the 5 minutes and then just stopping the game.
Oh, that's
John,
boring.
you want to guess what table that was?
Like table number?
Yeah.
How many tables were there?
69, dude.
Well, there's 45 teams Well, at that point there were 43 teams, so there were 21 tables.
Table 21.
Correct.
I just need to know how many tables there were so I can tell you it was the bottom table.
No, I think next year or next tournament we're going to reverse the table, so I don't have to walk as far.
I was confused about why that was important until I wasn't.
Judge some more events, Tom. You'll figure it out real fast.
Oh yeah.
We should put the judge table at LVO in the middle.
No, I'll just put it at the back.
The back. Away from all the people who don't need it. All the good players.
Well, usually.
Yeah.
The only way that I want 40K, now that I think about it, to be somehow syndicated and like mass produced for public consumption is like Undercover Judge, where it's a player that pretends that they're a judge and they're looking at these things and they're like, oh my god, like it's like a combination of Undercover CEO and Scared Straight. Like,
you say that, but I believe that was done for a Flames Award tournament.
Really?
oh man,
A judge built an army very specific to specifically play against a player to catch them in the act of cheating. I have to talk to them to see if it worked or not.
I mean, modern problems require modern solutions, so I'm okay with this.
I guess they gave him an excuse to build and paint an army because he didn't have an army for the tournament. So.
I mean, that's a two birds, one stone scenario right there, my dude.
Yeah, kind of. It was pretty funny when he told me about it. So we had that. It was fairly calm. Some of the questions we got a lot of new questions. Every tournament seems to bring up like specific questions that everybody seems to not to want to ask. So
hey, on a side note, real quick, don't send me questions about Las Vegas Open.
Why not? It's coming
Because
up.
the sheet's not open. The sheet will be open for you to ask rules questions about Las Vegas Open. And like to ask about conversions. It's not open yet because we still have SoCal in between. Stop it.
We still have SoCal, yeah. We don't gear up for LVO until after SoCal, essentially.
What if they ask you on the stream?
I'm not going to answer.
You can tell John is incredibly salty tonight because you can see he's drinking pure vodka.
They actually can't see. I have it on the memes right now. And no, this is just water.
Well, I also remember that we record this, and that's generally the... Most of my jokes are geared towards the listeners because I know I know we get that more in bulk.
The podcast, not the Twitch stream.
Airborne says I sound more like Sassy John tonight.
I'm gonna get that name on Twitter if it's.
Can I do the?
No, because no one's gonna know that's from, except me.
I'm a millennial. We know.
And those who do know will question your racial intent.
This is why I didn't have the camera on me.
That move was from the early 90s.
Yes, I too, from episode to episode, think, that's right. They don't know I'm white this time.
Kara Quinn, I am not judging the Kansas City GW. In fact, I can't judge any of the GW ones this year. They are all weekends. I'm not available.
He's doing it out of protest for Votan.
No, I'm not. I would do it if I could.
Solidarity.
They're great events. I would do it if I could. I just can't do it. They're all weekends I'm busy or have other things going on. So
John is bravely leading a one-man strike.
Yeah, because they'll care so much.
You're the
Airborne has it
most
correct.
famous LVO judge.
There's nobody who isn't replaceable in this world.
This is true.
So a couple of questions had to do mainly with Celestine.
Why?
One was if
why though?
Celestine?
Because what happens if Celestine's on an objective, her two Gemini are behind her, not on the objective, but she is removed, or one of, I don't know. Her three models, one's on the objective, models removed. So let's say Celestine and Gemini are off the objective, but they started an action. Does it complete the action?
No, because they're not on the objective anymore.
No, it doesn't say that. It just says it completes the action at the end of the thing. It doesn't say that you have to stay on it.
It doesn't? What action doesn't state that you have to...
It's their shrine.
There's-
the one-
Oh,
There's a
of
number
course
of-
it's
yeah.
their specific one. Of course, their
It's
own
just-
specific secondary is causing a problem with their own specific unit that's got weird rules.
The other one had to do with targeting, like if a model dies, but it shoots at the end. They're wondering if they still count as being in the way. If they count as an eligible target because they're not removed from the table. You were supposed to leave it on the table, and then it shoots at the end of the phase, at the end of the shooting phase, or whatever it dies, and then you remove it.
Oh my god, who cares?
Well, that's the correct answer, but the actual answer is it doesn't count as being there. So
Right, but also who cares?
that is also correct.
You are technically correct, which is the best form of being correct.
There was a lot of it was mostly that type of stuff, objectives. There were a few, just a bunch of line of sight stuff. It's a lot of basic stuff. It wasn't too bad, because like I said, there's a lot of new players, so it's a lot of questions, especially when they're coming from areas that play rules a little differently, or interpret rules a different way. I'm just looking at that look he gave.
I mean,
So
you
just
know,
have to correct them.
it's not as if there are only like a handful of rules. It's not like there's not 10,000 rules
What are you talking about? It's
to
only
interpret
like-
and interactions to interpret incorrectly and differently.
Yeah, it's funny because you tell them how the rule works, and then they explain how they've been playing it this other way for like forever. I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you're just playing it wrong.
You're like, that's nice.
Someone played.
But
their
officer, I've always driven drunk. I mean,
someone played their wound allocation incorrectly and weren't happy when I had to correct them how to do it. They still
I mean,
wouldn't
play
get
by the
it.
rules. But don't get mad at me because you don't know the rules.
see, this is why I know that I'm not only a good person but a bad player, because more
You can
often
still be
than not,
both.
sure, but more often than not, when I play 40k, I get my rule wrong to my detriment, and then I'm like shocked to learn, like, wait,
Oh man,
I've been
I should
I've
be
been
winning
shooting
these
myself
games.
yeah, and then I proceed to play with the better rule and continue to lose.
Fair enough.
Yes, that was evident on this past Tuesday's practice game.
That's true. Well, I was also a couple sheets to the wind very quickly that night, so
But
It's like
it was
it's
a lot
like
of
getting
fun.
mad at me because you don't have your codex.
Oh yeah.
It's the same idea. Like, don't get upset with the judge because you don't know how to play your own army.
toddler senses tingling.
I do describe it as babysitting whenever people ask me what I do. So,
If only we got paid the same rate as babysitters.
No, you
KR
want
Quinn,
nanny.
it was-
You want nanny rates, dog.
KR Quinn, it was not table 21 questions. The one with the wound allocation was actually like towards the top table. So
Of course it was, because they've been playing wrong to their own benefit for so long.
Yeah.
That's how they won all their games.
someone was playing Abaddon wrong, giving rerolls to knights. So
What does he give to the knights?
he gives them
Nothing.
reroll ones. He was doing the one where you pick a unit and they get full.
Oh,
rerolls.
no, yeah, no.
Calm down, John. It's
You don't
okay.
get that.
It's okay.
Was he giving it to, like, a Castellan?
No, it was given to one. No, it was the. I think it was the War Dog Abaddon dog walking list.
Man, this guy's list is crazy. Abaddon makes this Castellan reroll hit everything. No, he doesn't. No.
Oh,
But it was a
Lord.
lot of fun seeing everybody because we had the guys from Utah there, with like Thomas and
Utah.
Ben from our team was down. We had a few people. We had a bunch of people from Seattle, Utah, Vegas, obviously Southern California, Northern California, we had a
Arizona.
players from all over. Arizona, Smite Club was there. At the end of the day, the Gentleman Gaming did win the event, and that was the team with PJ Pants and Brad Chester. No Art of War, but we did have Art of War people
Players.
from Art of War
Yeah.
playing. Mark Perry was there with his team. Second place, I believe, was Making Saves, which is guys from Arizona. and then third place was best in tabletop from the Pacific Northwest. First place, best painted, was Team Aegis, which is a new store. Well, I shouldn't say a new store. It's a rebranded store in the Pacific Northwest. After the previous owner of a previous name wrote a
Oh yeah.
Facebook tirade. So I'll just leave it at that. If you don't know,
Yeah.
it was a
Yeah.
while ago.
Yeah.
So the new store name is Team Aegis, with the Steigers, who are really good painters. So that team carried it for best painted. Our team #Rec actually got second place.
And Redman, right?
Much for no for best painted.
Oh.
We got second place. Once again, I think carried on the back of Derek and his Knights.
Probably.
And then first place was Mini Marauders, I believe. Was it? No, it was NW Mercs. NW Mercs was third place for painting. Now Renman. Funny thing about Renman. There were 9 out of the 45 teams. Only 9 of them got judged for painting. Out of those 9, 3 of them were just one person, which is
Okay.
it's fine. It'll tell you what your paint score is. But in a team event, at least the ones I do, I judge the whole team. We judge the whole team for painting, not just each individual player.
Right.
So if they had a unifying theme, like if you had a unifying theme, then it gave you a bit more points than if it was just a hodgepodge of different armies. But so Renman, which is or Ren team, I guess, is basically your battle points plus your paint score.
Right.
So the better you do in the tournament, and if you have a good paint job, you have a chance at winning Renaissance person. That's why no matter what tournament you go to, I always suggest that you just get your stuff paint judged, because you never know if you do well enough, and if nobody else gets paint judged.
Unless it's LVO, in which case don't
it's LVO
do that.
or
If you don't
VAO.
think that you're going to get a prize of painting, don't even bother, because there's so many people.
It's kind of like it's kind of like being told, like, hey, do you want a free lottery ticket? I've paid for it, but you get to keep whatever's on here. And you just go like, no. That to not participate in the paint judging is
so
basically like that.
So any events that do have Renman, especially the smaller events, I would suggest doing it just in case. I did it one. I've done it a couple times, and I happened to do well, and that gave me Renman. Even though my painted stuff isn't as good as some others, or most people. Let's be honest.
I mean, the conversation in the bathroom stall with the judge probably helped.
So, no, because it's funny, because only don't half of it depends on you in the army. So half is
True.
the paint judge, half is has. So even though I got like basic painting scores or whatever, because I did well in the tournament, I was able to win that prize. So yeah. So make sure lots of people sign up all the time. Get your stuff paint judged.
Yep.
So first place was our team for #Rect. And I didn't do the paint judging because I hate paint judging. I let anybody else do it as long as I don't have to. Not a big fan. I just don't like doing it because I don't paint very well. I'm not really that up on the techniques and stuff. Not because I don't like it. It's just I'm very much not qualified.
I am both not qualified and don't care.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where it's like you could view two things like, oh man, these two things are really cool, but like if you don't understand like artistic execution, you're just gonna fall prey to whatever you particularly like, and that can even be as subconscious as I have a color palette that I tend to default to.
Yep.
Right.
Subconsciously. I mean, favorite color, right? Like I unabashedly will admit mine's green. So if something's green, I'm automatically gonna like it more.
That was blue.
It's just life.
It was bluish green. But
it's a nicely painted
so
salamander army.
So we
you
got
win.
first. We got first Renman. Second place, I can't remember now. I believe was Mini Marauders, which is Dakota, who's local to our area, Southern California. And then third place, I believe, was Salted Lightly. There were two teams. One was called Salted Lightly. The other one was called Lightly Salted.
You're shitting me.
Nope.
They were
Two teams with the. I mean, I'm assuming they're like from the same area or same store or whatever. But
so it's
one-
probably like 10 guys that wanted to be going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
okay.
was
That,
called
all right.
Lightly Salted, and I think it was Salted
Okay.
Lightly.
It would be
Game
like
of
if we
the-
did Wrecked and Wrecked Part 2.
Sure.
Or Tecker. TKER.
No.
Tech wreck backers.
No.
Like a tech?
No.
Like no?
It doesn't work.
That didn't. Man,
Stop.
the
Stop.
focus group of brain cells up here thought that was way funnier. That's why I left marketing. Jeez. Oh, well, someone's getting fired.
Wrecked and hashtag step wrecked.
Yeah.
That's good.
So that was the event.
Step wrecked, what are you doing back there?
Or oh no. Okay, we're gonna stop.
Yeah, we gotta stop that.
We're gonna stop right now.
This is a family show.
No,
It
it's
is.
not. But still,
That's why I put the warning.
I mean, we have Tegri, kind of. Really, I mean. Anyway, Adam, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. It was always a lot of fun to do the event. So nothing too bad. Unfortunately, nothing too exciting except for what looked like it was going to break down into a fight, but it was just a lot of yelling and hand gestures more than anything else.
Damn gesticulation always looking like it's gonna be a fight and never is.
Well, it's funny because
Were they Italian?
I think I have to tell you off.
They're gonna,
I think
are they gonna go into the stereotype pool?
yeah, like I don't know, to be honest, but I wouldn't be surprised. But it was funny because one guy you can tell he was upset, visibly upset, and gesticulating, and the other two guys were, I can tell anyway, we're trying to calm them down, but all of them are yelling out loud, trying to talk over each other, and it just looked like they were just yelling at each other.
Nice.
It looked worse than it actually was. So, but I thought that was funny.
I mean, on a scale of 1 to Baka de Boopade, how many?
What?
I don't know.
That's
The
a
hell?
Family Guy reference.
I'm not listening to Tom. We
Challenge.
did go out the Friday night. Keith learned to never go out with Jeff because Jeff is a bad influence.
Mm-hmm.
We did play pool where Keith went. I think he went like 5-1,
Oh damn!
but we played a game and he beat me because he was standing in a Captain Morgan pose over the last pocket that I needed to win.
Nice.
And it distracted me. And then we learned how much of a shark Carlos is with foosball.
That
Where-
doesn't shock me, actually. I could see that.
Foosball.
I mean, no, you had to see it though. It was. Carlos could be paired up with anybody. He was paired up with me, with me blind in one eye, and can't see for shit. And I didn't really have to do anything. And all he did was just keep scoring like nothing.
Nice.
It was insane.
Damn.
Yeah, he said he played for like when he was younger all the time. Derek says Adam the Shark because I think I did win most of the games. The only one I lost to was Keith. And it was one of those things where, because we played, stripes and solids, and then you have to call
Yeah.
each shot.
Yeah.
And I mentioned beforehand how my grandfather used to play pool all the time with us, and we had a pool table at my parents' house when I was growing up. So there were times, especially when I played Derek, where I was just like, I would just call each shot and bank them in. And at one point, I had, I think, one solid and the 8-ball left, and Derek had only made one stripe, and that stripe was the one I did by accident.
Nice.
So it was still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The other
Man.
ones weren't. We did find Kicker did take us to a Mexican place, or well, Keith did. That was kind of like Chipotle but better, and it actually was.
Was it like
Pink taco?
No, it was
King taco.
I've been to both. Um,
Is it a chain?
I don't know. It might be a
Tito's
local. It's
Tacos.
called Brazil Rio or something like that. I don't know. It might be a local chain to Vegas or Nevada, but I haven't
Sure.
seen one in Southern California. So it was actually not
Yeah.
bad. So
La Estrella.
what? Um,
That's a place in Pasadena here. You've never been there?
La
oh,
Estrella?
La Estrella, yeah.
isn't that the one on
Uh,
Pasadena on the?
I mean, I don't know where it is.
Oh no,
is
it's
that the
not
one that
Las
Danny
Vegas.
says has the best tacos?
No.
I forget. He said that one of the places around here has like one of the best tacos he's ever had. I can't remember what it is.
Hmm.
He said something about something around here being amazing. It was either burrito or a taco. I can't remember.
It's probably burrito. I don't think there's a taco in Old Town that's would be the best.
No, I think he said it was closer to the 210. But anyway,
No, jeez, we're in SoCal. That could be like anywhere.
well, relative to Old Town.
Well, what I'm saying is you can almost go to any neighborhood and have the quote unquote best tacos. There's a lot of good tacos out there.
Oh, I'm sure.
Um,
And I won't rest.
and
No,
all
I'm just
better than
kidding.
Texas. That's all
Yes.
that matters. So that was the Vegas team tournament. I don't know if they're doing it next year. I know FLG is going to announce their schedule probably closer to SoCal.
I
or
think
just
Kicker
after
said today
SoCal.
on Facebook they're going to announce it as SoCal.
Yeah, so we'll know their new schedule for next year because even I don't know it. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing another one. It was fine, But we will have to make sure the vote is done properly.
Yeah.
So next is SoCal. Danny is judging SoCal Open. I'm actually going to get to play. Derek, or Rum Runner in the chat, he's going to judge also and run the friendly, but he's mainly going to be there to judge paint.
Yay.
Keith is actually going to be able to play because plans were canceled, so he's able to play in SoCal.
Nice.
Yeah, he's been asking me a bunch of Voton list questions.
Nice.
Well,
And
one night he did.
And I'm pretty sure Derek will be totally impartial when he judges Keith with Keith's army. Because Keith did the judging.
Big oof.
Tom, you're going, correct?
I am going. I actually just recently bought my ticket. The plan is John and I are going to drive up whenever he gets out of work.
Oh, John, you're going.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so we'll figure that shit out. And I'm gonna run 3 Voton boxes.
Just the boxes?
Just the box. Well, because unless something else comes out.
No, I mean the actual box, not the models.
Yeah,
He's
no,
gonna put
it'll
the
just
boxes
be
on the
3.
table.
Yeah,
that's
3.
going to
Yeah.
be his Hecaton top
No,
of truck.
it'll be I've landed my void ships and these are my custom rules.
Yeah.
I'm terraforming this map. I win.
I'm sure.
Do we know anybody
don't
else from the team that's going? Ish said
have-
maybe.
I don't-
Someone
I
posted,
don't check the Discord enough, so I
Someone
don't know.
posted, but I've been busy and I haven't been looking at Discord very often.
Well, there isn't
Yeah.
a SoCal Open like channel yet.
No, I have to make sure they don't. Yeah, I'll have to start a thread for them to talk about it. But yeah. So there's a bunch of us going, and like I said, Danny's gonna have something for in honor of Hayden. I don't know what yet, but Danny may discuss it next week. So hopefully, if you are there, just keep an eye out. I'll be there with. I haven't decided what to take yet. I'm either taking the list I normally play, which is Abaddon, 2 Dreadclaws, Chosen, Terminators, and then some other stuff. Or Danny almost. I'm probably gonna do it just because I need to continue my 2-4 SoCal Open record. So I'm gonna drop a bunch of stuff and add in a 8 wound cap bloodthirster and 10 pinks
But
and add that to the Abaddon list.
I support this.
So you have two models that have wound caps, and both of them can be healed. One by a master possession, the other one by just killing stuff.
Just remember, if you want to sound like Generation Z, you gotta say wounds no cap.
I don't know what that means.
nah. Nope. I don't want to. I'm not going to do that.
Let's put it this way. I know that I used the right words. I think. So I am the bridge between your gap of understanding and my maybe getting it right.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I got it. I'm not going to do it, is what I'm saying.
Also acceptable.
God. So looking forward to everybody there. Come by and say hi. Hopefully,
Yep.
judge it. And then that's basically it until LVO for most of us. I mean, not counting local stuff. Once SoCal is open, then we'll have the schedule for the next season, and John, Danny, and I will start preparations for LVO, and then everyone can listen to John's annual LVO video.
Maybe I won't have to do it this year. Maybe everything will be fixed by a data slate, and it'll be nice and easy, and
I
everything will
repeat,
just go fine.
we'll just have John's. Well, we need to do the video just for general
Information.
directions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when
Yeah.
people say nobody
Yeah.
told me,
Narrator, both things he said were lies.
Airborne, that is not going to happen. He says I should make the video a musical and sing the whole thing.
ooh.
I don't.
If you-
I don't need that kind of attention.
What if
for
we
that.
made it a certain?
I don't need it to go
certain-
viral for that, and I just don't. If I needed that kind of attention, I'd post things on TikTok.
What if we made it a certain Patreon level?
No.
No.
Do you have any idea how high that Patreon level would have to be
Well, just
for me to
put a level
risk
and we'll see if we
students
can
at my
reach
school
it.
and parents seeing it?
How are they gonna
You know,
see it?
It's a
We
damn
can make
shame
it
because
private
the
and have a
internet.
private link.
That doesn't matter. I mean, do you know how much stuff gets linked that's quote unquote private on the internet?
So
I'm actually-
get that
I'm
Patreon level
tempted
up.
to do that.
I'm sure there's a number. Everyone has a price.
I have a price, but ain't nobody gonna pay it.
You never know.
Try me.
My price is
Try me.
can retire.
Okay. As a compensation consultant, your offer is ridiculous.
The request being made of me is ridiculous, so I've responded in kind.
There's different levels of retirement.
Yeah.
You have to be more. You have to define it more, John.
4.1 million.
There we go. There. That's what we need for our Patreon. 4.
BRB gonna go buy a bunch of lottos.
Use
Okay,
the
let's
numbers
move
on
on.
the back of my fortune cookie fortune.
LGTs this weekend, which nobody here cares about because this is America.
Well.
You say that.
There are a couple of guys from XPZ going, Kyle and Logan. So good luck
Yeah.
to them this weekend.
All right, okay, fine. We can
they-
root for our locals.
Yeah, I'll vote for Logan.
LGT does the thing where they do the pairings. Like they've already done the first round pairings, which I find odd. I mean, I guess you'd have to guarantee people are going to be there. But whatever, I guess. So
Well, it's odd too because I feel like a big challenge of pretty much any major event that you go to is that very first game and not knowing who you're playing and what's going to happen, and because it kind of sets the tone for the rest of your time there.
I just gotta tell you, man.
And
the key. There's one key to winning a major or a GT.
roll sixes.
You win all your games.
Oh God.
You heard it here first. It's magic. Except that's not always true because I went undefeated and didn't win. So
Well, that's also not true because at 1 year at LGT, they
Yeah.
based it on battle points.
right.
And I only remember that because I think Reese went 1 year and he came in like 72nd or something with five wins, going
Yeah.
undefeated.
Well, there was also the 1 year at War Games Con. Reese was undefeated, but because his battle points were so low, it didn't matter. The guy who won War Games Con, I think it was PJ Pants that year actually, had accrued so many points by just smashing all of his opponents that it did not matter that he lost his last game. Or his second to last game. No, he lost his second to last game and was still playing on the top table to win, even though he lost
God.
because he had accrued so many points, battle points.
It's funny that you say that because during the Age of Sigmar team tournament, because there was only 6 teams, according to Tom, they had already won the tournament after game 3
Nice.
out of 5.
Hey, Don's in the chat. I should have, yes. I should have
yeah,
scored. I
Don.
should have scored higher, Don. Yes, so that I could have beaten you. It's fine.
You mean
I don't
Don
mind.
BAO champion?
Yes, Don, BAO champion 2018, to whom I
Was
came
it
in second
2018?
place in 2018. It's 20. Yeah, I got the plaque right up there. 2018.
No.
I got a plaque on my wall.
I still have mine from 2016 for best whatever army I played that year.
All right.
So good
Nobody
luck
cares
to
about
those going
LGT.
to
Moving on.
LGT. I can't remember. I want to say they're doing a top cut this year, but I can't recall. I think it's at about 700 players. We'll see how many actually show up on this weekend. So I believe they start. We're recording on Thursday. I believe the tournament actually starts on Friday.
Sorry.
Or is it Saturday and they play till Monday? They're doing this. I think they're doing Saturday to Monday.
Okay.
So I think they do have a top cut. Stop making noise, Tom.
Never.
So that's London Grand Tournament. We'll talk about that when we come about next week. We had a couple updates. We'll talk about the best update first, which affects my army. Because I don't care about the other one. Well, I don't care about the other ones. They took a lot of the kill teams and made them
Yeah.
usable in 40k. So like the Gellerpox, the Star Striders, more importantly, my Trader Guard, which I've been collecting for the last like 2-3 years, I can finally use.
Yeah, that's fun.
They look fine. They're only 10 points more than Cultists. They still have the Cultist keyword, but they look like they'll. At least the sergeants.
And they're
are
Legion
equipped.
keyword too, so you can take them with Chaos Space Marines, right?
Well, yeah, that's the whole point. I mean,
Yeah.
Cultists have the Legion keyword also. But,
Right, yeah, but it's not like one of those things where like Elucidian Star Striders, for example, are like they can be in an Imperium army without taking up slots.
Yeah, they don't have to do that because they're cultists. As far as I can tell, they're still just cultists. So they're just better cultists. So they're only 10 points more. You can take special weapons and things like not special weapons, special gear. You can take like a plasma pistol, power sword for the sergeant if you want to. I don't know why you would. They do have a better leadership with leadership 7. You can take the Ogren and Commissar, which I have, but it's like 110 points for both of them, so I'm not going to do that. That's literally like 2 Trader Guard squads.
That's a lot of points.
So I have a couple people already messaged me about it. Other Chaos players in regards to how to use them, and if there's any, they're looking for something to like, some type of loophole or something to make them much better than cultists. But I think they're just better cultists, really. So slightly more expensive cultists.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I mean, I have 30 Trader Guardsmen, so I'm good to go.
Nice.
Although I have Flamers, which aren't an option in the army, so
Boo.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get lasgun. I can get a sniper rifle, I guess, just because.
I mean, but that's the good thing though, is that knowing that they can't get it, you're just like, this guy is a flamer because he looks cool, but it's a lasgun.
Yeah. Oh no, I can. Oh no, I can take a flamer. Sorry, up to 3. Damn, I can have up to 3 in a squad. Jesus.
Nice.
So I can take up to 3 flamers. What is it? Flamers, grenade launcher. Oh, it's just like a guard squad. Grenade launcher, melted gun, las gun, and it's all free.
That's
The
cool.
only thing that costs points is the plasma pistol and power sword for the sergeant. So, why not? It's just like the Imperial Guard where everything's like free. So now
Welcome
I
to the
have to
Guard.
look at it. So having like guards, having actual guardsmen with missile launchers or something, and be actually useful instead of just standing there holding an objective, which is good too, but might be worth the 10 points, extra 10 points. So I have to play around with it. I'm pretty sure I can fit it in with the new list, with the Bloodthirster and stuff. So, but that's not what anyone cares about except me. So, see, Trader.
I care that you care.
The one thing I need to double check is because they have the cultist rule, are they still subject to the 1-for-1 with core? Because if they are, then that limits how many I could take. If they're not, then I'm bringing back Trader Guard. with Space Marine Ally. I just can't use the void shield generator with the anymore. That thing
Yeah.
sucks. But I'm excited about it. I mean, I'm already using the trader guard as quote unquote cultist, but now I can just use them as trader guard.
Nice.
So we'll see. So the big thing today on Thursday was the balance, the Votan only balance update.
Yep.
Whoa.
It's funny because a lot of people were like, "Oh, today's the balance update," and they were saying it all week. Um, so I guess the update is just the Votan, and only one person between the four of us, only one person really plays Votan, and that's Tom. Tom, what are your thoughts? I know what the internet says.
Well, I'm glad you said that, Jim, because what I do want to talk about is the internet for a second here. And I'm a father, and I know there are a lot of people out there that are fathers. And the one thing that I'm continually reminded as a father before I send my children out into this world, they're young, mind you, but the internet's trash. In most of its
Yes, it
opinions are
is.
trash. And I'm not even talking about like all the crazy shit or the smut or whatever you want to look for. It's literally just 40K opinions that make me think at this point, y'all are fucking trash. And here's what I mean. Everyone and their mother was clamoring, "Oh my god, how broken is this codex? How broken is this codex?" for the like since it got released in the full rules, etc. And sometimes that's stupid, but in this case, I kind of got it. Auto wounding on fours, pretty damn nuts. That's pretty good. It's just like, all right, I'm not gonna bitch until I see some statistics, but that's pretty good. I'm playing Space Wars because Space Wars. I don't care about being super awesome, competitive, awesome man. If I win, go 6-0, great. If I go 0-6, also great because I'm playing games. So the update happens, and I scroll to the internet, and I'm like, oh wow, this update happened. I have thoughts on it, and then I start looking at people's reactions, and my first thought is like, but this is what you wanted. What, what? And it
But
it
not
was a
those people didn't
combination.
want it. Those people were the silent people the last time. They were all silent because they wanted to be able to keep their broken nonsense.
All I know is that I walked into the room of the internet and said, "Hey fellers, how's it going?" And it was half the room was OMG, this is overreaction, this is stupid, this is that, and another half of the room was like, this was GW's plan all along. Get you to pre-order a bunch of boxes and then snake the floor under you. First one, you're the same shit we always deal with, whatever. The second one is stupid. And the reason the second one is stupid is because of two reasons. One, because GW is stupid. And they actually said that for the first time in their entire history today, that the whole BP apology, we're sorry, like they actually did it. They actually admitted they made a mistake. And that's fine. And there's no way they could have predicted any number of, like, you cannot predict social media. And they're not smart enough, I don't think, to be able to plot this whole thing out. And here's how I know they're not smart enough. Because Warhammer TV shouldn't exist. What should exist is a Warhammer YouTube channel where all of their extra content that everyone kind of likes but nobody really gives a shit about is free, and then their really cool shows were all immediately produced and ready and available on Netflix. And they did the Disney Plus testing route where they said, let's make part of the deal, we see stats and reporting on how many people watch this every month.
Yep.
And then we'll open our own service. So I already know, because I'm not even on that echelon of business making decisions, that if I thought of that and they didn't do that, and they just, yeah, they're dumb. There's no way. So anybody who's like, oh yeah, they did this because of this, and that, and they're like pulling a rug and getting people to pre-order and buy it. The other reason that they're stupid for saying that, and now I'll stop ranting and get into the actual rules, the nerfs weren't that bad. They weren't that bad at all.
No,
They were
they weren't.
reasonable. Which is weird, because GW either does nothing, or they go way the fuck overboard and murder the Codex in its infancy. My poor Tau Empire Codex. I think of you often and daily and sweetly. I love you and I miss you. But, and I only say that because they nerfed it so hard I wasn't good enough to play it. I know there are people who do very well with it still. So any hoozle, what they did to Votan actually kind of makes sense. It's like, all right, let's turn off auto hits equals auto wounds of 6 because there's other rules interactions and that sucks. And it makes it kind of more of a betting game. So it's like, all right, I could throw more tokens on that dude, but I also really want to hit him with Magna Rails. So I'd rather use my natural ballistic skill to get him and then work through the wound phase to get the bonus of what I want versus auto hitting and auto wounding. Like that made sense. Points bumps, maybe a bit harsh on Berserkers and Hearthguard. Like that, those two I think were the real losers. The dudes that really didn't deserve it. Everything else kind of made sense. But those two were huge. Like they were significant. Like I was playing around the idea with Hearthguard and Berserkers, and now I'm not. I'm like, no. Now it's like in my opinion, any melee list that Votann really had competitively is gone. So now it's like, but everything else, aside from those, makes sense. Sure, the Hecaton going up to 300 points kind of hurts. Maybe it could have been less. I'm glad it's not a freaking Space Marine vehicle where you're looking at 350 for a good rule set vehicle that's just too expensive to play. But anyway, like, so that all made sense. So anybody who says like, oh, they're sweeping the rug out of people who bought the Codex early because now they're nerfing them. The nerfs aren't that bad, dude. If you're actually good at this game or just like playing, you don't care. You're fine. You're going to play this and you're going to be okay. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I did have to retool the list that I'm thinking of taking to the SoCal, which basically, here's how it retooled. I went from having an extra 120 points to being 70 points over. Not a bad deal. I'm still taking almost literally 3 codexes or 3 starter boxes worth of stuff. Yeah. So anyway, that's my rant over.
Derek wants one of your extra Votann card sets.
Remind me on the Facebooks. I don't use Discord often. Remind me on Facebook. And only because you're a teammate and because you and I share a home state.
What?
I was born in Arizona.
Favoritism BS.
I know, right?
Playing favorites.
Hey, tell me I'm pretty. I'll love you.
This is like when they left Tom at the gas station or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Except favoritism and
crave...
not Age of Sigmarism.
Except it's called you give Tom a talking piece in more than 5 minutes and it's going to fill his week up with self-esteem.
Fair enough. I think that's also called being a middle child.
You had to bring that up, didn't you?
As a youngest child, yes.
Bastard.
John, what are your thoughts, if you have any?
It's good that they did something about it, but I mean, whatever.
Well, yeah, we're kind of in the same boat. I mean, it's cool. It's
the
good.
grim darkness of the far future, nobody cares. None of this matters. My name's Carl.
It doesn't matter. None of this matters.
I lead a war band or whatever. I don't know. Fucking whatever.
You gonna watch the movie, Tom?
I'm debating it. It looks a little weird, but I'll try it.
I mean, the show was weird.
That show. You're calling that show weird.
They had a spider named MC Pee Pants.
I loved MC Pee Pants. Ah, damn!
Oh my god.
Santa Claus on the roof. No, it's not.
I'm with John on this one. It's fine. I mean,
yeah, whatever.
It happened sooner than I expected, to be honest. But
yeah, I'm glad they fixed something that was obviously wrong.
Yeah, now each other
that they admitted should have been caught way before, but whatever.
And whoever's on their comedic writing team did a damn good job with James Workshop.
They're British. All British people are funny, right? Isn't that a thing?
They just talk.
I mean, I forget the comedian. But he's like, that is a gross misgeneralization, but thank you. Jimmy Yang, that's right. Jimmy Yang said
it's
that.
Like when was it Robin Williams went to Germany.
Thank you.
And he's on a show, and he's like, "Why do you think that German people don't have the stereotype of not having a sense of humor?" He's like, "Well, you killed all the funny people." That's one of my favorite Robin Williams moments.
God, that's savage. I love it. I love it so hard.
On that note,
Yeah, R.I.P. Robin Williams. Nothing else historically context out of that.
I don't know what you're referring to.
so if you were
Exactly.
if you're a follower of our page, you would notice that someone posted for some reason the back of the box and at a
Yeah, I was curious as to that.
Look, he's
But
a geriatric millennial. You can't expect too much. Okay?
and at the
Give him a break.
leave Danny alone.
His life is practically over at this point, right?
right.
Okay.
But so if you saw, we have a Votan box to give away. Danny's not here for the rules, so what we're gonna do is give it away to our Patreon members because we don't do a lot of stuff with the Patreon, even though we've had one for I think like 5 years now.
So if you're not a Patreon, come on so you can win a Voton box.
There you go.
The next
So
time
that you
Photon
can give us
released a
money that
Photon-
nobody except for Adam will ever see.
And that's how it works. We've discussed this.
Yeah, I don't actually care. I just like making the point.
Especially after all the paint I had. I spent all on paint this week.
Yeah, but did you have to salt my garden so nothing would ever grow again? Yep.
I believe we're giving it away next episode, so in 2 weeks, just before SoCal Open.
Cool. Sounds good.
And that's open to Patreon members only. Just go to Patreon and look up TFG Radio. I believe I think it's Patreon / TFG Radio, one word, or it's Patreon TFG _ radio.
Cool.
I always forget.
Join our Patreon. Win stuff.
But just head to just go to
Make friends.
patreon.com.
No.
Look up,
We don't guarantee that.
No, amongst themselves.
Oh, okay.
And just look up TFG Radio and sign up. Each dollar entry, it's basically you can do $1 or $5. There's nothing. That's basically the only 2 levels we have, and you get 1 entry per $1, and no purchase necessary. And we'll see who gets the Votan box.
All right. Votan.
Votan.
Space
Votan.
Dwarves.
Votan. Botox. You get the Botox box. Which makes you look younger. It doesn't stretch out your skin at all.
Your clone skein.
Your clone skin, yes. So, look forward to that. The other thing is we will begin starting in October, as we always do. We'll begin our haiku contest, which runs until the end of the year.
Jeez.
For those that don't know, haiku is a form of Japanese poetry with 3 lines, 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables in the second line, 5 syllables in the third line. Technically, it's supposed to be in Japanese, but we will stick with English on this one. Even though we do have Google Translate. Maybe we can do that one year. Just has to be actually be in Japanese.
Only if it's about Tao.
It can be like
I ruined it.
it can be like Derek's Samurai Space Marines.
Samurai Salamanders.
Or if you make it about Art of War, because they have a samurai logo, even though Art of War is a Chinese manuscript. But I'm not going to nitpick.
I just got really angry. Oh, Christ. Oh, God.
So for this year's haiku, I don't know why that would make you angry.
Because I just...
And why you didn't realize it. Didn't you realize that before?
No, because I don't care about them. So I don't...
Then why is it making you angry?
Because it makes me... I don't know. It just does.
Amazing.
I have to build a third... I'm building a third Votan box, guys. That does something to you. I'm going to have to paint so many things.
Yeah. Building the same model 80 times. and then painted them 80 times.
You have nobody to blame but yourself.
I built.
Well. If it's in the consequences of your own decisions.
I mean, fair, but I'm also a glutton for hobby punishment. I do like building.
Yeah.
So once again, I believe this year's theme, and correct me if I'm wrong, John, is it must be a dad joke,
Yeah, dad jokes.
but 40K related. So 40K dad joke.
Yeah,
No?
it should be 40K related. Yeah, I think so.
Try your best to make it.
Try your best
40K.
to make it 40K related.
Actually, it could be 40K. It could be about the show. It could be about us. That's fine.
I guess it could be about Sigmar.
Sure.
Yeah.
Make it gaming or hobby related for dad jokes.
Sure.
Gaming
I mean,
or hobby related dad
Given
jokes.
how much material is out there about the Emperor being a bad dad, I'd be shocked if nobody.
I mean, it's right. They write themselves, people.
I know.
I mean, I'm not going to write any, but they write themselves.
You just need to get the syllables correct. That's it.
Emperor related dad jokes.
Yeah.
Write themselves. Slanesh related dad jokes. Don't write
Might
themselves.
bring,
Don't do that.
You might bring
Yeah.
forth some bad traumatic
They've-
memories.
they
Ain't
do
nobody got time
something
for that.
So
Do we have any
if you-
Patreon questions?
No, but I'm not done talking about the haiku. Because
I am, because the haiku's done.
You're gonna
We're done.
send your entries to TFG Radio Podcast
No.
at gmail.com, and the subject line should just be haiku or 40K haiku, dad joke haiku, things of that nature. So,
Logs in, changes password.
and then as we
Doesn't
get closer
explain,
to the end
leaves.
of the,
Yeah, Links explains nothing.
To the end of the year, we'll show you what prizes we have.
Adam's going to go to Joseph. Hey, why can't I get into the TFG Radio Gmail? I got no idea.
Yeah.
Here, don't worry.
John
I'll give
just
you all the
wrote-
haikus. Oh, man, nobody submitted haikus.
Nobody submitted.
John goes, "What Gmail?"
Nukes from
Alright,
orbit.
So
Full gaslight.
Look, it's not just relegated to the dating world. You can gaslight
if you
anybody.
have any questions in the chat, go ahead and ask them now. We got one question from the Patreon.
Is it?
It's from
John?
John from Laverne, and he writes, since rules can be changed before the games are actually played, can we just pick a winner of LVO now so I can spend money on steak, cigars, and drinks?
Nice.
Sure, why not? Whatever. I'll allow it. Where's my sombrero? So I can put my feet up and say I allow it.
You qualified that real quick.
It's the famous meme of the guy.
No, I know.
From Community.
I'm just Josh.
Right? It was
I'm a
Community,
Josh.
wasn't it?
Yes, it was Community. It was
Yeah.
Senor Chang.
Yes, in your chat.
They even made that joke. Why are you teaching Spanish? What are you saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it doesn't look like
John,
there's
you
any
wanna
chat
answer that?
questions.
You have a winner yet for LVO based on Army winner?
Me?
Whichever Art of War
Oh.
guy brings Photon.
What if they all? I'm gonna go.
They never all bring the same army. Well, that's not true.
Mm,
There was the one year where they wanted to prove Iron Hands was broken by bringing it, which doesn't make any sense because you just need
That's
one.
when they
But
were
it's fine.
Brohammer. That was before Art of War.
It's the same thing. It's the same guys.
Not exactly.
hey, you see those guys? They're the same guys. Same guys over there.
I'm gonna say. I want to say guard, because it'll be the last codex.
I'm glaring at you
Guards
so
a-
hard.
Guard's a good shadow bet. I like
It's gonna
guard.
be the last codex, and it's not gonna be updated until after LVO.
I'm gonna go with Space
World
Marines.
Space Marines.
Somebody playing Space Marines is gonna win,
Space Marines.
and they're gonna be playing 3 gladiators.
John's doing that so he could be like, I was clearly joking. I said Space Marines. But then if he was right, he was like, I deep teched this. I knew.
If that ends up happening, and it's like because of some random data slate thing, everybody's gonna think that I know all the stuff that's coming out for the data slates. So
Yes.
I really
Which is
hope
why
that
I
doesn't
wanted-
happen because I don't know anything.
which is why I want it to happen, because I want your inblocks to blow the fuck up. So,
I'm saying guard because
I will nuke my Gmail from orbit.
we don't know what order of the world leaders, and we don't know which is going first. The world leaders.
oh,
Or
that's
guard.
true. Yeah.
It's
So
not even
I'm
World
saying
Leaders.
guard.
World Leaders won't be good enough.
Well, yeah, because it's
They're too careful with the Demon Primarchs.
And they're also melee. They don't let melee be too good. They can't.
obviously.
That's the mechanics overall in the game, though. Hey, maybe
Yeah.
that's why like people don't want they all like the GW terrain setup because they want melee to be okay, right? No, the melee's not good in the GW setups. I think about it. Is
No,
it?
it's actually.
I can't remember.
I thought it was good because it was easier to hide stuff. Because depending on the board layout, the shooting lanes were. I think it was day 2. The shooting lanes were horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If I was an insider and just holding the truth from all of you guys, I would be better at this game than I am.
John's not good at holding his opinions back.
Mm-mm.
That's not true. I'm just saying I'd be better at this game if I knew what was going on.
Oh, you mean the game in general?
The game in general. Yeah, I'm not talking about anything else.
Well, I'm picking guard because it'll be the last codex.
I'll say demons
Demons.
because I'll
Gene
just say
Stealer Cult.
Nice. I'm gonna say all Sisters of Silence Army.
Ooh.
All bolters. All
Orcs.
bolters and anti-psyker. I don't believe there's
top
any
top 2 table
alright.
final round demons
Death-
versus Sisters of Silence.
Death Watch.
KR Quinn is asking,
They
should
could.
GW leak all the codexes
So they FAQ them faster.
so the epic?
Sure, why not?
What they could do is they could steal a page from video game indie developers and do quote unquote early access releases. So they say, hey, this is what we're planning on doing with our
No.
codex. Here's
I'm
the
convinced
general rule."
early access is only a thing because they run out of money. That meme is 100% true. We ran
Oh,
out
yeah,
of
no,
money. Don't worry about it. Early access.
I think. Yeah, I know. I saw that meme. I think that's less true now, but it was definitely true like 4 years ago. Like absolutely true 4 years ago.
I think.
But indie developers who are small studios, not AAA, but small, those are the ones who actually take advantage of it because they're like, hey, here's our idea, people like it, we can develop it, let them alpha build, beta build, etc., and then just whatever. And if nobody likes it, then guess what? Nobody gives us money.
Yeah, but then they also like never get out of early development because isn't PUBG still like early development beta?
So there are some
been out for
that are little
5 years.
John,
there are some that are little turds, but
John, your yawn was the correct response to Tom's answer.
my point being, GW could do a community roadmap with updates and releases, and it would actually be shockingly good, I think.
We are
Just like they could do
already
digital
testing
updates.
everything.
Hey, they finally made the point changes in Magenta.
Oh, Christ.
I've stated before that we are already beta testing the GW codexes. We just paid for it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why do you think everybody's so upset about all the updates?
Yeah.
Because you pay for this codex and then it's immediately outdated.
Mm-hmm. I did a teaching game. I had to warn him about that. Like, he had just bought the Dark Angels Codex. I'm like, well, if we get into competitive play, that book's already out of date. But if you're not,
Yeah.
don't worry.
Here's your 31 pages that you need to print.
Yeah.
And take a Sharpie to your book or something.
That paint job, I saw that guy's army. That paint job was gorgeous.
Yeah,
Oh
it was
my
good.
god.
It was a nice army.
They should bring back the chapter approves where you could cut out the paragraphs and just glue them into your book.
Yeah, seriously. Something. We should do something.
Any other questions?
Nope.
Yeah, I believe that is it.
Yep.
Talked about the gateway. Talked about haiku. I believe that's it for the day. We don't forget the podcast Grand Alliance because I think our show is the only one that talks about it because I don't listen to the AOS one, and Bam never mentions it, which includes what I just mentioned. Bam with the Flying Monkeys Wargaming podcast basically gives you an idea of 40K in the Midwest and the Lord Marshall series, and then our show TFG Radio. Pod Save the Imperium if we ever decide to do another episode, which we probably should after this weekend, because then I'll be less stressed out after this weekend. It's been a stressful couple months, which I'll talk about later at another point. Also includes Party of the All Points, which is AOS focused. And I believe that's it.
Cool.
They don't do the other show, which shall not be named,
Nah.
or they might. I don't know. It was 6 months last time.
We'll see.
I mean, if they were more focused, they'd fire off more episodes. I think is what.
It's true they would.
I mean, I'm not wrong.
That
Why are
was
you
well-
booing
that was-
me? I'm
that was
right.
well done. I like
because
that.
if he had done
I
that in the
approve.
form of a haiku, it would have been even better.
But it wouldn't qualify as a dad joke.
Okay, can you stop being
Yeah,
my
it would.
parents and making up rules and changing goalposts for me as I go? Okay,
That's fine.
could
This
you
is
stop
like
that? I'm sorry. What are you, my?
Like the
What are you, my
show.
mom?
Okay. It makes me question your relationship
Yep.
with your mom. So
And scene. Thank you, everyone, for participating in Adam understanding Tom's joke. I'm now going to huff glue.
and then we also have our sponsors, which is Hammerhead Games at hammerheadgames.net. You can also catch them at the Shark Tank. That's usually where they post all their deals and show giant pictures of all the stuff they have in stock. So be sure to check them out. Also, don't forget our main sponsor, which is Gameology Games, especially in Pasadena. We have 2 stores, 2 locations, one in Upland, one in Pasadena. But you can get product at gameologygames.com, and they will ship it to you. So if you're looking for something and can't find it locally, you can check their website, see if they have it.
Great
in
website.
stock, and they will send it out to you. If you are in the Pasadena area or near Old Town Pasadena especially, just stop by the store in Old Town Pasadena at Gameology Games Pasadena. And I believe that is it for the night. Tom, you're busy, building or painting? I can't tell right now.
I am building right now, and I guess final thoughts of the day are the ancestors are watching.
Everything. So watch what you're doing, Tom.
Mhm.
John, any final thoughts?
Small
you
changes are easier than big ones.
There you go. Well, thank you everybody for listening.
And I
Wow.
took offense to that.
Because it's actually an incorrect quote. I was wondering if either of you were gonna catch
No,
that.
because I'm too tired.
It's
I have too
large
much to do.
changes are easier than small ones. Nobody reads Francis Bacon around here?
No, or no one cares.
Wait, isn't he the dude? Is he the foreign humors dude, or am I? Yeah, he's the scientist philosopher dude. Yeah,
Yeah. Sir Francis Bacon.
yeah. It's been a minute, but I remember him.
Large changes are easier than small ones.
Wait, Sir Francis Bacon? I thought he was a monk, or like monkish, like more.
Maybe we're talking about the different guy. I'd have to look him up to be sure. I just know that one quote. I actually
I
know
know
a couple of quotes, but
Only one's
all I-
relevant.
only one's relevant at the moment.
all I remember is I'm pretty sure the Francis Bacon I'm thinking of was like the grandfather of the scientific method. like-
I'd have to look it up to make sure if it's the same guy.
Yeah.
Maybe you're thinking Sir Francis Drake.
No, he's the grandfather of privateering, and also the father of privateering because he basically invented it and did it.
Pirate.
Privateering.
Pirate.
He's talking about
Right.
privateering, not pirates.
Privateer is just a nice name for pirate. You only get the word privateer if you're side one. Otherwise, you're just a pirate.
There's more letters and syllables in
All
there.
piracy is legal as long as your side wins.
I was told I could pirate legally from 9 to 5 when I was collating.
I was told there'd be enough cake.
Yikes. All right. Well, to continue
On that
continue
note.
with the goodbyes. Thank you everybody for listening. We'll see you in a couple weeks, right before SoCal Open. So see you in 2 weeks. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Bye bye.
See ya.